Hello everyone, welcome back to another installation of my favorite legacy deck, Entomb Control, Yori Animator, whatever I want to call it today. Um, so if you watched my blue-black reanimator deck, I said I was going to try this out without white to make the mana smoother because of how many frogs and baleful strixes and abrupt decay slash trophy slash witherbloom commands I was playing. Instead, I decided to do the opposite of that, make it more white, uh, and solve our mana problem by reducing the number of two color, two mana spells I'm playing. Uh, Up the beanstalk, taking the slot of Baleful Strix, and our green black removal spells getting replaced with Leyline Binding means our mana base is a little smoother. We added the Xander's Lounge in place of the Beseiju. Still playing the Savannah, which can be a problem with Psychic Frog, but the Xander's Lounge Savannah pair is a match made in heaven. Perhaps I am supposed to try a different pairing for that. Like, say, Bayou is my new best friend. That means I fetch the Jeskai Triome. This can be a problem if I want to fetch a blue source turn 1 to say I want to, if I want to fetch Tundra Ponder and then turn 2 be able to Leyline Binding. Xander's Lounge gives me black red. I can do that with a binding for 2. Just fetching Bayou gives me black green. I can cast it for 2. So changing my Triome doesn't impact that. Jeskai Triome Bayou. Problem is I think I'm still going to want the Savannah because of Uro, and I'll want extra, like, if I cut the Savannah, like, what am I bringing in place of the Savannah at that point? Is that where my Jeskai Triome is coming from? No, because if I'm not playing the Savannah, I don't want the Xander's Lounge. So the Triome is becoming, the Xander's Lounge is becoming the Jeskai Triome. So what takes place of the Savannah? It has to be another white source, I think. I don't know that I really want to play a third Tundra. Um, Scrubland. Scrubland and Tropical Island plays binding for 2. Scrubland and Temur Triome is good. I don't know what the Temur Triome is. It Ketria Triome? Do I even have one? I do. Jeskai Triome. What's that one called? Rogren? I do. Interesting conundrum. Interesting conundrum. Scrubland doesn't cast Uro, which is why I'm not currently playing one. I think I'm going to try this, and if I want to make tweaks to the mana base, we'll do that for the next round. You may notice I added the second Atraxa in place of the Grizzle brand. This was both to up my green card count for Force of Vigor, another reason why I went the Beanstalk route instead of the Baleful Strix, especially after we lost to Mono Red Blood Moon Monkey Business. Monkey Moon, that's what I usually call it. I'm not calling them monkeys. They use Simeon's Spirit Guide to cast their Blood Moon. Monkey Moon. Definitely not insinuating anything about Blood Moon players. Actually, I played a lot of Blood Moon in Modern. Black-Red Blood Moon mid-range was my deck for a long time. So I'm allowed to call Blood Moon players monkeys. Anyways. I was considering these Bowmasters being Solitudes to be extra Beanstalk cards as well as uh, extra removal, because like I'm not really sold with only playing 2 Bowmasters. Also gives us extra removal, like I said, and that was originally part of the reasoning behind playing the other Atraxa was I would need more white cards for Solitude, because otherwise like I'm just pitching a removal spell to cast a removal spell. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Obviously, like hard casting Solitude's a great option, and but evoking it and reanimating it can be a very powerful play when that's available. Um, yeah. Also, Atrax is mostly just better than Grizzlebrand. It's 7 mana instead of 8, and this deck does have like a plan C of casting Atraxa. Uh, the only time I really want Grizzlebrand instead of Atraxa is if I'm playing against a very dedicated control deck or a very dedicated combo deck, so that I can draw 7 multiple times to force of will something like every turn. But other than that, yeah, the sideboard changed. I cut the carpet of flowers that I mentioned weren't really necessary because the curve has gotten so low on the deck, and replaced them with 2 Supreme Verdicts and a 3rd Veil of Summer. I'm not sold on those changes, but it's what we're going to try out. Something I was thinking about earlier was that maybe the surgicals should actually be endurances so that in the mono red matchup we can bring them in just to be green cards for Force of Vigor, as well as being just like a creature that can block, although it's not really blocking most things from mono red, and casting it for double green is kind of hard against mono red because we're trying to fetch basics. But I've digressed. This is getting to be a very long deck tech, so let's get started and play some Magic. Here we are for game 1 on the draw. Already know that we can cast our frog. This looks like a good hand. Let's see if I can, make these a little bigger for you guys. Right about there. Okay. Island, or Tundra, go. Draw a card, you get 2 energy. Okay, we've got ourselves a brewer. I'm not expecting my opponent to be playing Daze in whatever this is, so I am going to slam this Beanstalk on turn 2. I am expecting him to play removal. Am I supposed to brainstorm here to dig for like a force? Nah. Given that I'm not actually I don't have anything to pair with this beanstalk yet, and I don't know, for some reason to me this is just screaming actual counterspell. I think I'm gonna hold up the Bowmaster. I am very worried about back to basics. Oh, why did I was supposed to Bowmaster in response to that. Narset, that's fine. In response, blue, black. Okay. And he drew another force. Wonderful. I'm gonna try and bait the force with this. Yeah, so it's possible that he didn't have that force before the brainstorm, and if I would have just bowmastered at the right time, this game would have been very much in my favor. But such is life. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Yeah, that makes sense. So he's gonna force me soon. I think I want to lead with this. Like the highest upside play is he just says, "Yeah, it's fine. You can kill my Narset," and he wants to save the force for something else, which is not the case. And now he's gonna slam Jace, and I'm probably screwed from there. Like I leyline binding the Jace, but this Narset's still around. So if I cycle this, get Xander's Lounge tapped, binding for 1 on the Jace, I still can't do anything else. Do I want the Xander's Lounge, or do I just want to get a tropical island or an underground sea? I guess I would rather get Xander's Lounge than underground sea. I don't currently have an Uro. I'm just going to get the Xander's Lounge and play it while we have the chance. Maybe I was supposed to get the basic island to respect the back to basics that my opponent clearly has in their deck. Okay. I am going to do the saddest play I've ever made, which is animate Deading Orcish Bowmaster to answer this Narset. Okay. You just brainstorming while you have the chance? Making more energy. Interesting plays. Don't care about the Snapcaster Mage. We can clean that up later. I'm going to get my beanstalk down while I got the chance. Hopefully drawing a land here. We did. We're up to 5 for Atraxa at 7. We can put Yorion in our hand next turn. I'm not even going to trade. I would rather have this Orc around to pressure like another Narset or something than save myself 2 life when I'm at 20. Destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with mana value less than or equal to the amount of energy paid. Okay, glad I didn't fall for your trap. Sad to see my beanstalk go. What? You get X, then you may pay any amount. So he did it for 2, went up to 6, and destroyed my binding. Wow, okay. You got your Jace back. Good for you, buddy. It's already gone through 2 forces. I'm hoping to find Entomb Reanimate here so I can get an Archon in play. Didn't happen. We're still far off from this. We're not shuffling this turn. There's nothing to hit with this. I'd actually rather do it this way. Not that it really matters. I can only play 1 green spell, which will be this one, so I can put Yorion in my hand. Like, yeah, it sucks that my opponent has a Jace here, but like, he's drawing his 5th card, or 4th card for turn, and 5th card with Jace, versus my 4 cards in hand, 5th card on my turn, so like, we're actually pretty even. Like, it's my Beanstalk versus his Jace, basically. And I'm going to draw more cards with Beanstalk, I think. And then eventually Atraxa him. And Uro him, and whatever. Knowing Swords of Plowshares on top is not super great. This is mildly irritating. But I got my 2 for 1. At any point, he can slam this back to basics, so that's going to be scary. That's not good for me. So this guy's going to make me regret cutting the carpets. Because as you saw, that turn I could have, like, if I had a carpet in some of these turns, I would have been able to do a lot of stuff. 6. Man, I really don't want a Yorion for no value against a Swords to Plowshares deck. But I also really need to pressure this Jace. I think I'm going to start with Brainstorm. Beanstalk Binding is a good start. I don't want to put any of these cards. I guess I don't want the swords. I can redraw some of these. So if I put back the fetch land, yeah, that'll work. This. I did not consider that happening. I wasn't supposed to put back the fetch land. I was supposed to put back Yorion. White mana to exile the Jace. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. That was his third force of will. Oh my god. We can leyline binding the back to basics. Unfortunately, we can't do it this turn because of the stupid Teferi. I mean, this game's probably locked up. I'm gonna play to my outs though. We do have 3 islands. Mystic Sanctuary is available to us. There's no reanimate, unfortunately, because Orcish Bowmaster is really what I want here to take care of this Jace the Mind Sculptor. Actually, I think I have to hit the Teferi first. I don't know. Need Prismatic Ending. I need a lot of things. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. All right, that's getting the back to basics back. I'm done with that. You got it. Okay, Swords to Plowshares out. Veil of Summer in. Flusterstorm. He did show me red spells. I want Hydro Blast. What else isn't good? Witherbloom command has no targets. Like I can hit the Snapcaster, but I'm not worried about that. Like my plan for Snapcaster Mage is to completely ignore it. I actually want the Archon so that I can make him sacrifice Planeswalkers with it, if that comes up. I can trim a Wasteland against the Back to Basics deck. You might be wondering, why no Force of Vigor? I just think that it's only going to hit Back to Basics, and that's not enough. Like, he's probably only got 2 copies in his deck, and there's no lands in his hand. There's 1 land in this hand. Hate to see it happen like this. Alright, this is the one we're keeping. We're putting back second Uro and Flusterstorm. Just want to hit all my land drops. We'll find interaction later. There's no black mana for these Bowmasters or the reanimate, so I'm just going to shuffle this. Love to see that. Hate to see that. I would love for him to out of nowhere play a young pyromancer or something here. Some stupid red spell and I can just hydroblast. That's not gonna happen. Fortunately though, I can just Uro my heart's content. Draw land, draw land, draw land, fetch land. Give me a fetch land. Come on, baby. Give me the fetch. I'll take it. Looking for another green source to cast Uro. Opponent missing third land drop. Showing why I wasn't supposed to cut Wasteland. It's not at all how I was supposed to tap, but it's how I tapped. So this is interesting here. Sometimes in this situation, you're just supposed to like let them keep discarding cards, like if they don't draw lands. Whereas otherwise, like I'm giving them the out to like force of will something and not have to go to discard next turn if they miss their land drop again. But I think I just want to like start pressuring him while he has no white mana. Okay. That I'm not serious about the wasteland. That's not happening again. I am, however, gonna run it back. Oh my god, dude, can I please get a keepable hand? What the fuck? Okay, goodbye, Archon. Done. There's no third land here, so unfortunately this is a shuffle, as much as I would like to set up with the Veil of Summer. Like, Beanstalk with Veil of Summer backup is a great start to the game, but unfortunately not available to me. Okay, let's start chucking through his removal spells. Chugging through his removal spells, that's what I wanted to say. Uh-huh. Force of Negation, unfortunately not able to defend the Beanstalk. Though I am happy to take a Hymn to Torok anyway. No force for my opponent. This is a big turn for him. What's going on the stack? Something that is probably getting Force of Negation. That one I think is actually just mid enough to not get it. Like, I can probably take care of that with the Bowmaster. But I think I want to fight my fight. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Start chipping in. So there is still an Atraxa to get with this Entomb. Though I might just get Loam. Probably not, though, given the context of my hand. Yeah, that's fine. No big deal. Especially since he's shown me, like, lack of forces. Like, I think it's very likely that I'm going to get this Atraxa off. And I am going to reanimate the Atraxa rather than animate dead because of that, like, enchantment removal stuff. And also now I can put Yorion in my hand. Alright, now I get to do it again. Yay! This is the only creature. Ponder or reanimate for sorceries. Take. Okay, they conceded. Hooray! Alright, we're back for match 2. On the play. We got Ponder, we got a removal spell. Looks like a keep to me. Our hand is very Esper. I like the force here, but the fact that there's no third land is really bad. So I'm going to shuffle. Love to see that. So I did the thing on accident. Ooh. Oh my. What you got? I'm not scared of that. Land off the top, please. I am scared of two of them. Ask and ye shall receive. Unfortunately, it doesn't cast the beanstalk. Which one of these do I think is worse for me? If he sacks Ignoble Hierarch to white, that means I can reanimate the Ignoble, which might be useful. So I'm going to Swords the Reclaimer. And as far as the Wasteland goes, I can pick off this Bayou or I can wait. I think I'm just going to wait because A, I want mana, and B, he could like find a Gaia's Cradle with this thing. I did not consider the fact that this is vigilant and is going to tempo me out of the game a little bit. So I'm kind of drawing the wrong mix of spells. Like I'm drawing the reanimates with no entomb, the beanstalks with no bindings. There's a binding. I'm gonna bind now. Beautiful. Fascinating. We'll be able to Yorion the Leyline binding eventually, though. I want the beanstalk this turn. And there's our 5th land. Is this like infinite somehow? Next time I know, take care of the white first. I may or may not be chump block. Oh! I forgot to put Yorion in my hand. It's only as a sorcery, right? Or is it only on your turn? It's only as a sorcery. God, I'm screwed now. I needed that Yorion next turn. I think I'm screwed anyways, honestly. Why did I do that? I was supposed to... I double messed up. I'm gonna do this now though, and he's gonna tap it and tap Reclaimer, and I should probably just shame concede here, honestly. Revealed Forest. Seven. I think I have to chump something. I'm dead on board. Maybe I have a chance there if I get to play the Yorion, but probably not. Okay, these verdicts are coming in for sure. Nothing else is good. Force of Negation doesn't hit much. Alright, I don't love this hand, but I am going to keep it. I'm going to get Trop. Against a mulligan, I think this is going to make it. Okay, I want the swords. I want the ponder. And I'm going to get rid of the reanimate with the next ponder. I guess I'm not going to get rid of the reanimate because these are good cards. No. I want to avoid forcing anything here if we can. This is unfortunate. But it is why we kept the beanstalk on top. The fact that he's taking my swords here is really what sucks, because it means I probably do have to force at will something, which I didn't want to do. I know the top cards reanimate. I'm not going to ponder and risk not finding a blue card. And next turn, I'll just put Yorion in my hand to be blue card, probably. I don't care about that. You have all the dorks in the world. Probably a Dryad Arbor here. Uh, under, Underground Mortuary, okay. Surveilling to the graveyard. Baduka Bog. I don't know what his last card is, but he had mana to cast it, so it probably isn't that good. Okay. Yeah, you got the beats. Probably I could get punished for yielding to those exalted triggers if I want to sword something in response. Okay, fourth land. I cast Ponder. Um, Awkward. I think I'm just going to draw the Entomb and plan on shoot. I'm not going to be able to reanimate because I'm not going to have enough life. It's going to put me to 6. Oh, dang it, Ermin. Alright, the plow buys me a turn. And I could Entomb Uro, but that doesn't really get me anywhere. The land will draw me 2 cards with Yorion, so I'm going to go with that. We definitely want 1 Underground Sea. We have double green. We want another blue source. Yeah, I'm just going to get another Underground Sea, I think. And if I don't draw a blue card, I'm going to be absolutely livid. Okay. So this thing is going to kill my Yorion. Also, Leyline Binding doesn't kill Dryad Arbor. Supreme Verdict. I Entomb for Uro here. Interesting choice to concede. I don't think he was out of that game yet. But he didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to have the dress down for Natural Order Atraxa, but I don't know what it's better than. Alright, Supreme Verdict looked like it would have been really great in that game, so I'm going to keep this. It's worth noting that we do have to find a second white source. And Polluted Delta does not fetch Savannah if we draw Beanstalk. That's interesting. That could completely change our game plan. None of these are second white source or reanimate spell, so I do not want any of them. That's second white source. Because this thing sticks around later, I am going to force it pitching Atraxa. Like, the Supreme Verdict will kill the Dryad Arbor, and then that thing will be a creature. Okay, an extra white source, can't complain. Means I should probably be fetching green with this. But I'm actually just going to respect Wasteland here. I think the reality is that the Supreme Verdict is just going to win me the game next turn. Like he's got Cradle for 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got 6 mana. He's dumping out his whole hand this turn. Yeah, that's fine. Hmm. So he is going to phase out one of his creatures. But that is probably fine. Like the best creature here is white, and then everything else is dead. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, that thing gets real big. I'm getting hit for 10. Oh, is this a hoof? You hoofing me? Nope. Okay. Five swords. The Atraxa. Chump the white. Take 3 from endurance. Oh, I can Caracas the Atraxa. Color. It's only 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that works. Black, blue. So we could. I have a plan. Put one card on top. Assuming it's not Legolas's quick reflexes, this is fine. Green Sun for 2. I know one of the cards in his hand is a white. I don't want him to have any other creatures to sacrifice when I do this, so I'm going to do this now. Forces him to tap it, and phase out, which means I get to keep my frog for a turn. Yep. And the last card in his hand is another white. Yeah, so 3 whites. Looking for Brainstorm into Entomb, Animate Dead. Life from the Loam. Had he not gotten rid of my graveyard with that Endurance, I could Mystic Sanctuary and then connect with, give Frog Flying, draw the Verdict, and Verdict him. But that is not going to be enough. I can still Mystic Sanctuary the Swords. Swords, one of them. Chump one with another Frog. And die to the 3rd. Yep, that's game. Okay, 7 cards. No green mana in our 2 beanstalk hand. This is looking like I have to find something better. This is basically a 5-card hand. Classic Entomb Loam hand. Gonna keep it. Since I'm Entombing Loam, I don't think I need Lorien Revealed, and like since I have the frog to discard Atraxa, like I might have a Reanimator win here if Ponder finds my reanimation spell. So I want to get a black source. I don't need another green source. It doesn't really matter now. I'm just going to Entomb in response for Loam. Yeah, it's got to be Underground Sea because I don't have any other blue. Probably taking Frog here. But he could take Ponder. If he's Reanimator, he might take my Atraxa. Okay, I will Dredge Loam. Unfortunately, not hitting any other lands. So I'm not going to Dredge Loam next turn. I probably will on turn 4. If I don't draw another land next turn, but I'm hoping I don't draw land. I would like to draw Swords to Plowshares here, ideally. Opponent is also playing Reanimator and didn't discard my Atraxa. Seems like a mistake. Suggests to me he is lacking on reanimation spells. He's got it. Depending where this goes from here, I still can grind through this if I draw swords. Shallow grave, interesting. Is that an instant? That is an instant. This is only his turn 2, though Lotus Petal could make him play something else this turn. If he had Entomb, this would be easy, so I assume he would have been done by now, because it would be Petal, Dark Writ, Entomb, Shallow Grade. Oh wait, those are both instants. Um, if yeah, but he could take Reanimate as the sorcery. Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual. Okay, that happens. That means not Shallow Grave. Troll, so not Sire. Yeah, he figured it out. Reanimate. Okay. I mean, you've already seen my hand. Okay. Veil of Summers are good. Surgicals are a must. Fluster and Hydroblast are worth considering. Dress Down's worth considering. I don't think I want any Swords to Plowshares. Like, I might want some number of Leyline Binding to go with the Beanstalk, as well as being an answer that doesn't gain him life. But as it stands, I still need 2 more cuts. Witherbloom Command doesn't do much. Lorien Revealed isn't doing much. I do want this Flusterstorm. I'm fine without Hydroblast. But I want the Flusterstorm, and I want it to be in place of Up the Beanstalk. choosing to bring in a couple swords instead last second to play with Mystic Sanctuary. So I have a surgical. I have an Entomb for if he exhumes. I have Bowmaster for a Grizzlebrand. I really prefer to have 2 pieces of 0 mana interaction, but I think I have to keep this. I probably should have kept more confidently to make my opponent consider mulliganing. I'm gonna ponder. So this takes the surgical, and hopefully he reanimates this grief, and he'll probably take the Bowmaster. Thoughtseize himself, pitching an Archon. Okay. I'm getting animate deaded next turn. So that's honestly not that bad for me. Like, I'm just discarding an Uro. Do I want to Bowmaster him first? It's an extra point of damage, I guess. So, I don't know here. Do I want to Entomb for Loam? I think I do, because of the amount of cards in my graveyard. It's not enough to get Uro back, and I need lands for Uro. So let's get a tropical island. Bring back these 3 lands. We're discarding either the Tundra or the Wasteland, the Archon trigger. Next turn we get to cast Uro. So he's used that, used that, used that. 3 cards in his hand are fresh. This is bad. Probably Grief here. Okay, that's beatable. not dredging loam this turn. I was supposed to discard the wasteland. Because had I kept Tundra, I could Uro into Swords to Plowshares, and that would have been very good for me. I'm going to get Bayou here. Blue, blue, green, green. I want to discard. I already have a Reanimate and Entomb. Surgical is probably the best thing for me to get back. I want the lands though. If I can keep 1, 2, 3, 4, I need one more. I guess it'll be the Delta. No. Oh, I need one more still. Oh, the Reanimate's not. Is it select? No, it is. Okay. I'm never. I don't know. It's tough. Maybe I'm just supposed to get rid of the second Uro there. Probably am. Swords. Fuck. I could Entomb reanimate a Bowmaster to kill the Grizzlebrand, and then I die to Archon. Okie dokie. Keepable hand. Yeah, let's jam. Um, Force of Negation is going to be our instant. Polluted Delta is going to be our land. Onder is going to be our sorcery. Leyline Binding is going to be our enchantment. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Discarding 2 cards. One of the extra frogs. Probably both frogs. I didn't really expect that to resolve there. Well, I think there's no sense in forcing that. If he's got Bowmaster plus Wheel, I'm pretty screwed here. If this is Beseech, this looks like a Past in Flames line. Seven with Dark Rit. 8 with... he's already at Lethal Storm, so... Yeah, show me the tendrils. Dude, I'm at 11. You don't need to showboat this hard. Yeah, you got it. Veils in. Fluster in. I mean, if he's gonna Past Inflames me, I'll take Hydroblasts and Surgicals if I can. Swords out. Binding out. One Beanstalk out. No Witherbloom command out. Beanstalk back in. Let's go. I'm going to keep this. I have Entomb, Reanimate, and Flusterstorm. It's not perfect. It's questionable whether I want to hold up Fluster turn 1 or just go for the combo. I think I'm going to hold up Fluster. Okay, now he takes the Entomb. And I'm stuck with a bunch of do-nothings in my hand versus his hand that probably combos me off. This was not exactly the type of hand you want to have against Storm. You want to have the hand you want to have against Storm is all interaction and like cantrips. Not like you want to save the combo for after you stop them from comboing. But I am just a green source away from feeling safe. I do not feel safe. Naturally drawing my 2 basic lands, pretty unfortunate here. This should be deterministic somehow, right? Petal lets you Dark Writ, lets you Cabal Writ, Lineside Diamond, Beseech again. Is he good here? I don't think he's sequenced correctly. No, there's no way for him to get full value on the Cabal Writ. So he goes crack Diamond, Dark Writ, Cabal Writ, 6, Beseech, sacking the Petal with 2 floating, Infernal Tutor, Tendrils. Oh, he's already got enough. He has enough right now. Good job. How do I feel about the deck so far? I think having more creatures in the previous build was better. Um, I think I would still like to try black removal instead of white removal because there were some times this game where like having the game plan of kill your creatures with black removal, then reanimate them might have been viable. The beanstalks have been pretty clunky, not consistently getting extra cards with them. Um, that might I might get to do that this game, but we'll see. Against a wasteland off the bat. Oh my god, we're playing against. I don't know what we're playing against. I'm an island ponder though. My initial guess is Cloud Post, but it could be. I no longer think it's Cloud Post nor Eldrazi aggro. My next guess would be Merfolk. I'm trying to think what blue deck would play Soul Guide Lantern. Oh, Soul Guide Lantern. I thought this was the new Bauble. This is probably an Urza's Saga deck. So I could just try and Wasteland his Wasteland here to keep my Trop around. Yeah, I think that's the plan. The Beanstalk's not like if I had a Force of Will already, I would feel a little different about that. Fascinating. I am going to jam the Beanstalk here. Supreme Verdict. Okay. I can't believe he missed a land drop and didn't crack the Soul Guide Lantern. Stand still. Yikes. Considering he missed land drop and I didn't, I'm not incentivized to crack this standstill this turn. In fact, I am just going to grab my black source. And put Yorion in my hand. Actually, you know what? Oh, come on. I didn't realize how that worked. Well, I can't be that upset about not knowing how standstill works. I wish I hadn't done that though, because there was no incentive for me to crack it yet. I am, however, just gonna go ahead and wasteland them. Sure. Hmm. Back to basics would be bad here. That's not that bad. So I don't know how my opponent drew 3 cards and still is only 1 card ahead of me in hand. Especially considering I am 1 card ahead. I have 1 more land. I have 2 creatures on the board. He forced me once. Okay, that's part of it. Snapcaster, sure. Gonna get lost my frog. Prismatic ending my frog. Am I gonna force of negation this? I think I am. Feels really bad, but this Uro's pretty far from converting. Only as a sorcery. I didn't know that. I would have done it on my turn. I should probably just put Yorion in my hand now. Um, what card is it? Entomb? Yes, put that in the graveyard. I'm probably supposed to make it fly there and attack with the orc. Because as it stands, I'm probably forcing another removal spell this turn. Okay, that's honestly fine. Bounce my frog, and I'll kill the Teferi with the orc. What you thinking about over there, brother? Got a Solitude? Gonna Solitude my orc army? He didn't. Okay. Attack Teferi. Ponder. Uro is starting to look good now. We can do that next turn. No. Land. Black. Blue. And yeah, might as well. Yep. So I messed up there. I was actually supposed to put the Bayou second from the top and use the map token to draw it. And I just forgot to leave up black for reanimate. Not that there's anything worth reanimating right now. I was supposed to crack the map before combat. Just making all sorts of misplays. What card? Animate dead. That can go into the graveyard. Opponent could be at 11 right now. This would be a terrible turn for him to stand still me. If I dodge it this turn, I think we're good. But if he standstills me, I think I have to just start getting in with orc beats until he doesn't. So like I think he would only standstill me if he had the removal spell, and it's seeming like he doesn't. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay. Bouncing the orc army. Yep. Interesting. Here I have the choice between Uro or Leyline Binding. If I hit a land, I can do both. If I play Uro, he just bounces it. I think I'm gonna binding. Oh, nuts. I probably should have done this first. So I could Lorien Revealed for a Mystic Sanctuary. That's not worth anything. I'd rather hard cast it next turn, but I'd rather Uro. Then do that. I do have 2 Uros worth of cards in the graveyard. And if this is the standstill, it's not. Thank God. Beanstalk into binding. I got punished for not casting the Lorien Revealed, or cycling the Lorien Revealed. I am going to binding first, once again, because of you can just bounce the Uro. I don't care about that at all. Blue, blue, green, green. Binding, animate dead, reanimate, force of negation, ponder. Yep. One, two, three, four, five, six. I have hard cast Atraxa next turn. Or I can Lorien Revealed and save hard cast Atraxa. I don't have to make that decision now. Can see what he does first. But I think I'm probably casting Lorien Revealed. Like God, this is really what I didn't want to happen. Not this turn. Ugh. Crap. It happens though. I think it's better for me to slam the Atraxa this turn. Tundra. Black, 1, 2. Let's hope he doesn't have another counter spell. Alright, Brainstorm, don't hate that. Means he's tapped out a double blue. He's already used quite a few forces. We got a redraw. Swords is fine. This dragon isn't pressuring me at all, really. I think I am going to take a force here. I really want to take the Archon as my creature, but I think I need the Frog as a blue card. And I'll take Wasteland to keep him off of Force of Will mana. Because I cannot have another standstill this turn. I'll Force of Negation a standstill, pitching Frog. Narset is also worth Force of Negationing. Spell Pierce? Are you serious? I hate you. I didn't keep the Archon. Ugh. My hand does nothing but draw cards in the face of a Narset. Leyline Binding off the top. He's putting Force of Will back in his hand. That probably locks it up. I need to concede for time at this point. That was one game and I'm way behind on clock. Alright. Veil of Summer is good. Place of Swords. This hand is not going to cut it. This hand is keepable, and I'm going to put back a land. Digger's Cage, don't care about. Definitely don't care about a second one. I'm going to get a Bayou and a Tundra. Now I'm going to get an Underground Sea instead. I ordered those wrong. That's fine. Savannah. Fuck. This is bad. This brainstorm could be really big for him. If it's land standstill, I'm in a bad spot. Okay. Land. Right, feeling better. Would have felt great about a green source there for this Veil of Summer, but I'm already feeling pretty good with Beanstalk plus Force of Will. I can't imagine choosing to play Beanstalk as your 2-mana card advantage engine, 2-mana enchantment card advantage engine when up the. Did I say stand? I can't imagine playing Standstill as your 2-mana enchantment card advantage engine when up the Beanstalk is an option. That doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I'll just go ahead and force this. If he has the counter spell, so be it. He didn't. Okay, let's do that. Let's get a land, which will be do 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 do. Underground Sea, Tundra, Trop. Cast Ponder. This Uro will get there eventually, so yeah. Actually, no, I have Frog. Want more counter magic. For things like that. This is fine, but like I have the binding for it actually, and Veil to protect the binding. So interestingly here, everything that's stopping me right now are his white cards. So this Veil of Summer isn't really good, so I'm going to tap out for Frog. And I win. Opponent recognizing that he also needs time. Yeah. You know what? He showed me Grafdigger's Cage, so I'm actually bringing the Witherbloom back in. Like I said, I do not care about that plane cycling creature. It's like you saw in that first game, it was so slow to kill me because his swords to plowshares and my arrows and so we're on the draw for this game, which means it's going to be hard game. This is not going to get there. This is better, but not great. Shit. What am I going to do? I think it's pretty likely that there's just no way for me to win the game 3. That opens up Entomb for stuff, but I think I just want to ponder here anyway. I really want like a force. Well, I don't need to Entomb for Loam if it's right there. I think I just have to hope he doesn't have the standstill by some miracle and go from there. I'm pretty sure I'm screwed though. Volcanic Island is new. Yeah, you got it. Whoop-de-doo. I think the odds of me getting Force of Willed are so high that I don't want a beanstalk, so I'm just going to cast Loam. Like, I doubt he even forces this. Which means he might have to go to discard. Seriously? Alright, I mean, he's probably won this game, but I'm going to play as much of it as I can, I guess. A Bowmaster would be what I need here. That ain't it. Brainstorm. Cancel, cancel, cancel. I wish this was a swords right now. Put back 2 lands. I don't know why I kept this Witherbloom. It's actually useless. We already have a green source. Let's just get another Underground Sea. Doesn't really matter. Resolved. Interesting. So I can get around the Narset by dredging Loam. With my extra draws. Do I want to dredge Loam with the first draw? I do want to hit my land drop this turn. Yeah, I think so. bizarre force of will there, honestly. Unless you're gonna fourth Aerlingus me again for like a lot right now, I think that was a mistake. Or unless your hand is just full of counter magic. Yeah, you got it. So I've not drawn a card this turn, so I can beanstalk. It's crazy as I still don't feel out of this game yet. Like my opponent's doing stuff, but I'm doing stuff too. Drawing cards, making land drops. We have the same number. I have more cards in hand. His board is. We'll have the same number of cards in hand by end step. His board is a little scarier. So we dredge loam here. Unless he red blasts this. It didn't ask me to dredge loam. What the fuck? Oh, you have to dredge loam every time. Okay, whatever. 5, 6. I'm gonna be done with this game. I want to move on with my life. So there you have it. That was a poor showing. We played against some crazy stuff. I mean, I definitely don't expect to play against standstill most of the time. But that's what happens when you're 1-3, I guess. So which version is better, in my opinion? This one or this one? I think it's this one. I mean, obviously I had a better record, but that doesn't really mean that much. But I think, like I said, just having more creatures makes the deck more consistent, and that's what it was really about. So, yeah, I'll probably try something else in my next league. I don't know what, but see you next time. Thanks for watching.